Before I go into continue with Ayn, I want to address a comment that was made on the word object since we're on the subject here. And this was the comment that was made. I thought it was important to address it. Okay. And it goes like this. Let's see if we can get it up here. When you say, we point and say table, right? You point to a table. Where is it? You point and you say table, right? Okay, that's what they're addressing here. To identify an object, you are forgetting that you are using a common noun, table. Okay, because what he's referring to, or this individual, right? Could be a she, I don't know. Is that, table, there are many tables in the universe, let alone on planet Earth. I'm sure there's civilization somewhere out there, they have the word table, and they refer in their own language, they refer to the same thing that we call table. Okay, and it's some kind of surface, four legs maybe, and that's what he's saying. The table refers to all tables in the universe. And no, I'm going to clarify that. To name an object, we would have to use a name specific to that particular object. A common noun invokes a concept rather than an object. And I'm going to dispute that, okay? But I thought it was important to see if we can clarify that. Here's my side of that story, okay? And it goes like this. It says generic, the table, word table. When he says it's a common noun, he's referring to tables with S, with plural. He's thinking of the concept tables, and tables is with S, right? Plural is a concept. Any mass noun, any noun that refers to many things like people, children, and so on, those are all concepts. Those are not physical objects. Here's a little rundown that might help you put it into perspective. You go into the kindergarten, and the kid painted a little picture. You say, well, what's that? Well, that's the river, and that's the meadow, and in the background there, the blue ones are the mountains. And what are all those trees? Oh, that's the forest. Oh, the forest? What do you mean the forest? Is there a physical object called a forest? And forest means many trees. Or you can use the word jungle also. That just means many trees. And on the right-hand side, we can see where the problem comes from. We use the word desert, and it's a noun in ordinary speech. Forest, clouds, etc. And you point to them. I mean, I can point to the Sahara Desert and say, oh, desert. Okay? But see, desert refers to a region of the planet, or a region in some kind of geographic context. And those, what I did was underline or circle the different regions. You have a forest, you have ocean, you have mountains, okay? And you can point to them. But here's the critical issue for the word object. And I've been trying to get that through people, but it doesn't always sink in. It has to be the only object in the universe. And it has to be made of a single piece. Let's get that right. Single piece, single object. That's what you're pointing to. That's when what we do in physics. That's an object. You can't point to forest. I mean, you can point to a forest, but first of all, it's made of many pieces. Forest means many trees. That's what the word means. Many trees. You're pointing to many trees. Many children, right? Many childs. Many kids, right? People, many humans, or whatever. That's what the words mean. And so you can't point to, I mean, what are you going to use that object for called people? Are you going to move, in physics? You can't use them as a physical object, like you're going to move peoples, people, a bunch of humans. It has to be the only object in the universe, and it has to be made of a single piece. Anything made of more than one piece is known as mereology. When you point to a table, you're not thinking of the gazillions of atoms that comprise it. That's not what a table is. Gazillions of atoms is not a synonym of table, because gazillions of atoms is also a synonym of elephant and of house and of whale and of everything. So you can't use that notion of mereology, of made of parts temporal parts or any of those subdivisions that so-called philosophers invented. No, you point and you say table. And that's why the word table refers to that object at that moment in time and is not a generic noun. Okay? I don't know how else to get that across to you, okay? But here, let's get back to this. Here's my objections to it. If I can find it here. There it is. Okay, the other one is you can call it X. You don't have to call it table. You can give it any name you want. So you don't need to say, well, this is table 1, and this is table 2, and this is table 3 in the universe. You're not going to give each table a specific name. No, the word table refers to that which has shape. Okay? And when you point to that object you have in front of you, and that is a table. It's going to be a table for the rest of your dissertation. Then it's got to be standalone and made of a single piece. Okay? So those are the criteria to use when you're using rational science. If you're going to say, well, table, what is a table? Let me define it for you, which is what Ayn Rand's going to do. She says a table is not she defines a table. In science, we don't define objects. We point to them. And she says that somewhere else. She says, you point to objects. Great. You did great, Ayn, there. But then what she do next? She says, you define the word table. No, what you find in the dictionary are descriptions of objects. First you point and say table. You have a picture. Okay, whatever. Okay, so far we understood what the word table means. It means that, what you pointed to, that object. Now you can go in there and define it, which is what? A description. Flat surface, 4 legs, made of metal, whatever. Okay? That's secondary. That's not what a table is. Table is what you point to in physics, in rational science, rational physics. Okay? So yeah, these are the nuances that not everybody always gets.